football class. Oh, it was hilarious.
And I want to discover which places and people helped carve the most formidable character in the history of the game.
She came through and she kicked me, she waked me up, and they three were standing behind her. You know? She said, "You're not retiring. You're too young to retire."
So get ready. It's Fergie time. This is your sort of second home here. Are you honorary golf captain at Mottram?
Yes, I've only played twice since I became captain, but I'm just down the road.
So has your golf handicap improved or not?
No. I got a hip operation about a year and a bit ago, and I've only played about 4 times. Played here a couple of times with Bobby Charlton, but that's it.
And is retirement what you thought it would be? I mean, I know you're still very busy, but were there things you were looking forward to that you just thought, well, I'll do that in retirement?
Definitely. Yeah, everyone's got bucket lists, of course. But I look forward to it, and also I made sure I was going to be active. And, you know, difference being was I maybe waking up during the night and I put the television on. Difference what I used to do up at 6 o'clock into training ground. Now I do that, maybe go up at 8, have my breakfast with Kathy. It's the first time she's ever had breakfast with me. So that's a big change. But I set out to be active all the time. The first thing we did, I cruised up to the Scottish Highlands with my family and my mates, just all men. And we started off at Open, and there was a day Andrew Murray won the Open. So with the champagne already,
Wimbledon, yeah.
We went set sail to he won that. As we set out and all the people on the quay were all waving to us and with the champagne out, "Well done, Andy." And we had a great time. It was fantastic.
And was that something that you thought you could have gone anywhere in the world? And actually it was a lovely summer that summer, wasn't it?
Lucky.
So you were really lucky.
Dead lucky, yeah.
But was that something you'd set yourself, I want to do the Highlands, I want to do the islands,
Absolutely.
I want to go home, really?
Yeah, exactly. Well, as a Scotsman, I'd never been to places I've gone to, you know, in that cruise. I'd never been to Open in my life. It's amazing. It's not even far from Glasgow.
And you've mentioned Kathy already, hugely important to your success, I would think.
Absolutely.
What is it that she's brought in a marriage that's nearly 50 years? I mean, it's 48 years I think you've been married now.
48, yeah.
Yeah. How does she understand you, and how much respect do you have for her in terms of listening to her, she says?
She's a great judge. A great judge of people, in particular. She's never been a football wife who goes to games. She's never done that. She'd go to the cup finals, and Kerry Mary used to say, "A waste of a ticket," because she sit, her and her sister, talking, are in the tea room, how we watched the game. But it was because it's cup final, she'd always go. And she's really basically a good mother, a good wife, and a great grandmother. Fantastic grandmother.
Well, I should think you're a pretty good grandfather, aren't you? Because you've got
time. I love that now, I've always loved that. Every week we'll get some of them here, you know. I've got 11 grandchildren now. One's 20, Jake, and the youngest I've got 2 at 5. So they're great.
And is it true that Kathy won't let you have any football memorabilia in the house?
No, none. None at all.
And what would happen if you came back with a book or something, a football book?
Well, we've got a library of football books, don't get me wrong, but I've no anything to display my career. It's all in United Museum. Everything's in there. And I think that's the best place for it, really, to be honest with you. Because that can be shared with every fan that goes into the museum. It's a fantastic museum. And it's not a matter of me saying, "Oh, I miss it," or anything like that. I don't even think about it. I think it's in the right place.
But the most crucial influence she had, and it didn't come out till a few years afterwards, but she's the one that talked you out of the first time you were going to retire.
Yeah.
And was that because she didn't want you around the house, or she thought you weren't ready yet?
She could sense I'd made a mistake. She knew I'd made a mistake. And I knew myself, you know, the silly thing was impulse. I was in a sort of in the heat of a moment, I just decided. And I made it at the beginning of the season, which was even worse. And I knew after a few weeks, I said, "Well, why did I do that, you know?" But then sometimes when you've got a stubbornness about you, you say, "Well, I've done it," and then you carry it through. And then around about Christmas Day or New Year's Day, I think it was New Year's Day actually, I was sweeping the couch after dinner with the boys and the families. And she came through and she kicked me, she waked me up, and they 3 were standing behind her, you know. She said, "You're not retiring, you're too young to retire. And the boy says, you're off your head to retire.
He certainly did it his way. His unmistakable gait and stride, his understated smile, his wave, simply the last